about her lots, and I'll fill you in on how amazing this woman is in our life. But she's a big part of our unit, and she's very go-give. And we've done this a few times, and it's just fun to join forces. She's in BC, so she's in my old stomping ground, which is great. Okay, so here's my 6 most important list of full circle success. Because if you do not have bookings in your day timer right now and you see a snow, just white. Okay, first off, don't be hard on yourself, but realize in order to make a change, to grow your business, to make the money we need to get the year that you want to have, to get that extra $1,000 bonus this year that Mary Kay's giving us, because we all want one of the quarter sale ring. Hello? Everybody with me? Yes. You need to have bookings. Yes, Kristen's got her book out.
Hold on. I'll be like Vanna. I'll be Vanna White.
Show us the rings, Vanna. Oh, yes. So first off, you need to decide which of those 2 rings you're going to earn. I made a decision this year that I'm earning my mom, the ruby one. And then I'm going to take the $1,000 because it's a win for both of us. So who are you earning a ring for, or which one are you going to take? Yeah, my mom was really excited, and they're going to come at conference so that my mom will get it on awards night, which is cute. Yeah, I know. I'm excited about that. So the first step in your full circle success that's super important is to make a list. Now, I know this sounds silly, and you probably have a list, but you need a list all the time. And I heard recently that you need to have a list of 200 people. Now, why 200? Now, this seems scary, 200 people. Well, do you know that, for example, and this is a morbid way to think of it, but if you had a funeral, how many people would be at your funeral? Well, it's probably 200 people. I would hope I had 1,000, thank you to Mary Kay, but 200 people. So if you go on Facebook, how many Facebook friends do you have? I don't know about you, but I have over 1,000. Doesn't mean they're all going to book with me. So start making your list from 30 to 200. That's your goal, to have a list of up to 200. Look at Facebook, look at your phone. And I know Kristen's going to talk about this as soon as I'm done. This one thing is, who would love to participate in our makeover contest with Mary Kay? And, host a party, whatever it may be. So I'm going to let Kristen jump in this part, because I know that she'll kind of tell you maybe what happened yesterday and her lists.
Okay. So I'm not as prepared as Angela. Well, I guess I am. I'm pretty raw. I like it. But yes, no, I'll just talk about one thing about lists. Basically, I'll just say, like, my girls saw me last night after I washed my face and had no makeup on, and while I was washing my face, I was thinking about how I needed to share some things with them, because I was like, I gotta just tell them. So I came home from my wedding and mini moon, and I had nothing on the books, nothing at all, 0. I had girls' night booked, but like for my unit meetings, and I had no guests or anything. So I actually had to call one of my bridesmaids and basically make her come and be my model for our product launch. And then she brought a friend, so that was awesome. And just having that kind of ignited me. And then I just made a decision that this was going to be a really, 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 really great year, and that myself and our unit deserves to have a whole bunch. So a whole bunch more, like just a lot more. And so I just started making lists. I just started going through people that maybe I had contacted when I first started my business. I started going through people that had said yes, and maybe I forgot to contact them back because I got busy. I started going through lists of like profiles of people that I had facialed, but I hadn't done their follow-up, and people that had just bought from me but never facialed. So I had all these things and people, and I also made lists of like my very best customers that are always supporting me all the way through. And I even wrote like on my list, so I'll show you, like on my list, I wrote like where they lived. Like, so these are just some of, like, you can't really actually see, don't worry. But like in brackets, I put where they lived, because even if they didn't live in Squamish or Vancouver or somewhere that I could drive to, I just put in brackets like maybe a live party or a Skype or Zoom party or something like that, because I've done that before. And I just started like tallying up lists and people, and I just basically made a goal that I was going to fill my day planner, because it didn't feel very good being a director with no bookings because I've always been a lead by example girl. And I just felt like I wasn't being very authentic and good. I wasn't feeling good with myself. So that's a little bit just about lists and getting going with that. I could probably keep going, but do you have anything particular about that, Angela, that you're...
Yeah. I think it's just it's something that is so important to have ongoing. And I know one thing that you're really good is you always have an ongoing list all the time, like just like tracking your names so that say it's not right now and you've called her 5 times and it's not going to work. At least you know you can call her back and ask permission. Do I have permission to call you in November or December? Because most of the time they'll say yes. It doesn't mean it's no. It just means not right now. And that is really hard, as sometimes, you know, you'll hear nationals talk about stories of how they got asked 5 or 6 or 7 times for that party or that opportunity and they never gave up. So everyone's going to do a list of 200, aren't you? Okay. The second most important thing is mark your day timer. Do you have a day timer? Now, I love paper. There's something about paper, right, that you can doodle in and have with you. So what you need to decide, and most of us say in Fort McMurray, we're very lucky. We know what our husband's schedules are. You know, we can keep going, whatever pattern that they're on. We have an idea of when they're going to. So you need to decide when you're going to work your business. So if you had a part-time job, you would obviously know what your hours were. So what you need to do is take some highlighters, because we love highlighting, right? And highlight when you're going to work your business in Mary Kay this week or next week. Like, have an agenda. I kind of know what's happening until December. That's just what I have to do to plan ahead. And people, if it's not going to be this Saturday, maybe it's going to be in 2 Saturdays. It's okay to book as far as you want, as long as you have control of the hostess, which we'll talk about. So you need to highlight your time. You are your own boss, which sometimes can be the worst thing, right? Don't you guys agree that when you're the boss, you can go, yeah, it's nice out. I'm just going to go to the park. You know, really, it's easy. But one thing I know is if you're at the park, Jennifer's laughing because I saw her at the park, but we were also having family time the other day. But, you know, we could have samples with us. We could meet moms, and there's always time to work. But if you know, say on, you know, set nights might work for you, that Monday or Wednesday or Friday are going to be your nights that you work a party, that when you meet someone, you could say, you know what, I'm booked the next couple of Mondays, but I've got a Wednesday or Friday coming up. So always know where you are. And I know that I'm booked the next few Saturdays for a while because I don't usually get too many Saturdays off when Greg is home. So, you know your schedule. So always have your day timer, know when you can work. And say something cancels, don't just go home and have a pity party and grab the wine and, you know, go through your list like Kristen did, right? Or, you know, go make sample bags or do something that's IPA related so that you're not just sitting around feeling sorry for yourself. Sometimes cancellations are the most exciting things in the whole entire world when you're busy, right?
Yeah.
So the third thing is practicing your scripts. And then I'll let Kristen talk about her amazing script because I love it. I asked her for it. It's so good. But so this is what I'm going to ask you is don't feel wimpy. Feel confident. That's your secret. Remember that you're not asking for a favor. You're actually offering something that's wonderful. You're not offering a favor. Some people feel in this business that they're trying to, oh, would you do me a favor and have a pamper? No, you are offering something beautiful. And don't try to feel at all that you're just needing your charity case and you're like, oh, I'm in another contest. I need your help. Don't feel like that because we have something great. So with that said, Ms.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
So part of my mini moon, we went to Black Rock at Ucluelet, and we got like a couples room, like massage and all this stuff done, right? And they upgraded us to the ocean view room and all of that. And then when you get there, they give you a clipboard, and there's things you can tick to add on, and then it has a price beside it. So they added customized skincare, just that they would like wash your face, a microdermabrasion, a little makeup lesson, and this and that, like exactly what we did. It was hundreds of dollars to add it on, and we do it for free. And so I was like, okay, you know, like even me, I'm like, we are offering something. So I just had to say that. Sorry, but like,
No, it's good.
yeah,
It's true. I think sometimes when people are new, they forget what we're doing is something great. You know, you're not selling the products, you're teaching and educating women. You're making them feel good. And you'll get to a point in your business where they will hug you and love you and go, I'm just, where were you years ago? So just know if you don't feel that yet, you will. That's confidence. So what script, Kristen? Get everybody, get your pens, and she'll slow it down. And script you're going to, I would say, keep somewhere on your phone you can copy and paste it. Okay?
yeah. And I can copy this and just paste it on your wall too, right?
Yeah.
Like I literally just, because I've been doing it a little while, I know how to do it. And one of my things that I was going to talk about with you guys was about scripts and to customize them. Don't be a robot. Scripts are really, really good. And you want to kind of make them so that they're your personality. So I don't, if I'm texting someone that I don't know, it might be a little bit different. If I'm texting someone I know, I'm going to add something personal in there because that's who I am. And I'm not just sending it like for something for me. Like I know that it's going to be something great out of it. So what Angela said, don't think that we're like asking for something because I never want to be the girl that sells stuff. I'm very conscious of that. And everyone always says that to me, that they never feel like that. So hi, blank. How are you? So I always do that because it's nice, right? You don't want to just go into it. I like it when people text me and ask me how I am. I'm excited. And then I said, I have some pretty big goals this year. He's watching. See. And breaking it down, my monthly goal is a minimum 30 faces a month. And then I put a face that's going like, ah! You know that one?
Yeah. How about one eye where the tongue's out? That one.
It's like the eyebrows up.
Okay.
I'm all about emoticons. They're my favorite thing in the whole world. Okay. And then, so this particular one is a current customer. If it wasn't, you would take this part out. You've been so supportive of my business and all of my goals. Thank you for that. Heart. And then I said, are we good? Would you be willing to host a September or October pampering? The reason I added October was my September started to really, really fill up and I didn't actually have much available. So I didn't want to be sending this to a lot of people and then have to say, sorry. Mm-hmm. So you could just put September. So would you be willing to host a September or October pampering? Is that what you're wanting, Jen? To say that one? Yeah. Okay. Question mark. There's great perks. Plus, Mary Kay has a hostess contest. And with this person, I know she loves to travel, so I added, and I know you love to travel, because she really, really does. So, and I know how you love to travel. And then I sent her the picture of, you know, the picture that is on, that we can download from Mary Kay, that talks about it's time to party, enter for your chance to win the voucher. So that's what I sent, and then some of them are shorter. But mostly it's that kind of thing, and I've got a great response. And then I let them know, like, if they don't have people in mind, they can just come to something. So come to an event like with Angela, you could say, because I know you have some events going on, right?
Yep, the next calendar will be out soon. Yeah.
Yeah. So if it's someone that's like, well, I don't really know enough, very many people, or I'd rather just do it by myself, then I would say, oh, don't worry, just come to this. And then I had one lady say, well, what's a party? And I said, well, why don't you bring 2 or 3 ladies? That's a party. She's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would say about that. And then one thing I'll add is you just have to ask, because if you don't ask, 100% you're getting a no. And if you do ask, you're 50% getting a yes. And you just have to kind of focus on the yes and try not to let the no get you down, because being able to deal with no is how you'll get where you want to go, and it'll just get you stronger, and you basically won't even care, and you'll, like, just like cancellations, you'll kind of be okay with no's because you'll be busy. Yeah. Right? And on the whole ask category, asking for bookings, but also asking when you need help. Because I know Angela is not a mind reader, and either am I. So we just need to know what you need and what scripts you need. I know Megan's texted me before and been like, I would like a really good script for that. So just ask us, because we have them right up our sleeve.
Usually they're here.
We probably got them. Yeah, right in here.
Yeah,
I have more, but you go now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I said that to Christina the other day, is if you have an objective or need help, send it on Messenger, and then I can record my voice and send it back, and then you can listen to it over and over and over. So for example, her question was, about sharing the opportunity. So it literally was, I could leave a voice recording, and then you could listen to it as many times as you want, which is good too.
But, just like Boxer.
Yeah.
Boxer too.
Yeah. Okay, so that is the last thing I'm going to talk about, scripts. Is there anything you want to add before I move on?
Nope.
Okay. So the fourth Mary Kay full service success tip is to practice. Now, this is always a good thing. So we need to practice working through objections. So very often people have objections, and these are the common 4 to 5. And we'll go through them all. I don't have time. I've tried Mary Kay and it didn't work for me. I broke out, right? I have no money, and I don't use Mary Kay. I use this other brand, and I'm loyal. Let's walk through them, because in order for you to save this appointment, which Kristen and I are confident we can book anybody with any objection, that's your goal. So let's walk through no time. Okay? Almost Mary Kay women are super busy. We're busy. We're busy as moms, period. We all need pampering. So you could offer different things. If she can't get together for a sit down, you could even put together a mommy pampering pack and deliver it to her. It doesn't have to be a sit down. It could be samples, a loaded lookbook with it could be anything to make her feel, just to tempt her to say, yeah, she needs me. You could tempt her with the idea of, I'm sure you need to learn like a quick mommy on the go back to school look, something quick and easy, because you're important. I think many times people think they have no time just because they're just not interested or don't know enough about it. It doesn't mean that they don't have time. They just don't know really what you're doing, and they don't really know you well enough, and they think maybe it'll be a time waster. So your job is to prove her how much fun it is. Trust me, when women want to do something, they find the time. Just like when you started this business, you probably thought, I don't have time to do a business. But what happened? You found the time because it was fun. Okay, so anything you want to add to that one, Kristen?
Like with the time thing? Well, I just think that the other thing is they get to hang out with us, and we're fun. Yeah. And so I know from experience how much fun it is, so that if someone says any objection, I know that one. It's just, yeah, it's fun. I've had people that are like, they've been inviting people to stuff, and someone's like, oh, I don't know, I can't come. And the hostess themselves is like, oh, you got to come. It's so fun. Yeah. So it's, yeah. And yes, making time, and super quick. And like, I can do like a very, 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 very quick pampering, and I can take 2 hours. Right. So just knowing how to do that. Like if you're just making it nice and simple. So,
Yeah.
and that goes back to being organized,
Hmm. And I think
right?
sometimes too, especially from Vancouver, is people were too busy, period. And so if you told them it was a workshop, or if you told them that it was a lunch and learn at work, or you changed the name, even though it's the same appointment, it was all of a sudden, oh yeah, I can find time for that. So sometimes it's words. That's all it is, it's
Okay.
words. So I know, like when I was in Vancouver, there was this one lawyer that I was trying to meet forever because I knew she could open me up to this firm of women. It was an all women firm. Like, oh, women got money, they need me. And she's like, oh, we don't have time for a party. We're lawyers. And I'm like, well, you need a workshop. She goes, yeah, we would do a workshop. It's the same thing. I just changed the name. So, right? If it's a bunch of moms, it's a mommy me play date, whatever. It's the same thing. Just
Yeah.
change.
I just booked pizza, PJ, and pampering.
Mm.
So basically, we're doing charcoal masks, but she's gonna bring pizza. They want to wear their PJs. And then with a smoky eye one, I call it a smoky eye clinic.
Mm-hmm.
They love it, and so like just fun, cute names, right? Muffin and makeover. Like Marina and I were talking about that for like a weekend one, right?
Yeah.
Like a Saturday.
We used to do city events, muffins and makeovers, or brunch, and it was so fun because it started at 8 in the morning. We ate, makeover started at 9. People were out by 10:30. They were ready for their Saturday, or even earlier. I think at one point the city events we were done by 9:30, weren't we, Kristen? Because then
Yeah,
people
like yep,
were
10ish.
ready for their
Yep.
Saturday.
Maybe they were. We had to clean up.
Yeah. You know, and even Jennifer and I talked about, the kids are back to school, and if her Sadie goes in the morning, she could get people ready for her day. Like whatever time slot you have, you need to make it work. So one other objection would be that marriage, I've tried it, it didn't work for me. And usually the first quick response I have is, okay, well, how long ago was it?
Mhm.
And then if they give me, oh, it was a few years ago, I go, you know what, the product's always changing and developing, and you haven't had a pampering session from me. So sometimes we offer something different than somebody else. So you just want to make sure that she doesn't still have a consultant. But other than that, if she's done and she hasn't tried it, she doesn't own any product, you just make it fun and just try to encourage her that you'll teach her something. Or you can ask her, and Kristen said this, is ask them what they want to learn. Right? Maybe everybody has something different. Maybe they don't care about skincare, but they want to learn how to do a smoky eye or brows or contouring, whatever it may be. Find out what they want and book that clinic or that session for them. Just tempt them. Could be 15 minutes. Come over and I'll show you how to contour and highlight. So get her, gets her in here.
Yeah, choices. I think choices are a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Choices on time, choices on day, choices. Because really, we can do anything. Like tuck me into bed. They're so popular if it's an evening,
Mm-hmm.
because then they're going home and they're ready for bed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the jealous one because I gotta go do it, right? So those are really great. Flawless face, 5-minute face, hand and feet pampering. You get this, so right? Like it's fun and it's choices. So that if you do have that best customer that's been your face 15 times, there's still a 16th option. Really, there is,
True.
right?
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so I'm just going to move. Anyone else have an objection that they really feel they get stumped on all the time? They want me to answer. You can type it on the side in the chat comment if you want. I think some people say they don't have money. Then great. You know what? It could be 2 options for that. It could be that they definitely need to have a party so they can earn free hostess credits and so on, which I'll talk about. Or that maybe this is something that they need to learn how to do as a business. They need more money, right? They get to use the products they love and they can earn a bit. So sometimes it's just that relationship and that confidence. Jen talked about breaking out. I would probably go back to how long ago was it and maybe what you had tried, because sometimes most consultants only try the TimeWise that's in their kit that they get, and they're not experienced enough to help them with other things like rosacea and so on. So you guys all know the different tips, and Kristen would probably talk about, rosacea is a big one up here, right? And they go, oh, rosacea, and it doesn't work for me. Well, if they had tried just the TimeWise, that has a mask built into it, and you can't use masks when you have rosacea. So that's kind of a big one. I like Unique better. When they've never tried Mary Kay. Yeah, you know what? I'd be like, I would love to get your opinion on it, and then you could test it and let me know. I mean, never a bad thing if they like one thing. I've had many Younique girls in my office, even girls that have worked for Younique, try some of our products and are blown away. And yeah, I mean, even the ingredient listing on their CC cream of, for example, Arbonne. Arbonne CC cream is the same ingredient as Mary Kay CC cream, and ours is different. And Lynn Arnold told me that. So sometimes it's about, I would just love to get your opinion on the product, right? More than anything. Well, maybe that wasn't for you. Let's try something new.
I like what Jen said.
Yeah.
That's what, like, if they, or if they tried it a while ago, and like sometimes people tried Velocity. That was our other acne. So then now they can try Clearproof, or maybe the Voluferm wasn't around. So yeah, I think.
You guys all see the chat on the side, what Jen had said too? You can't see that. But Jen just said, I don't know if you can't, but you'll see what she.
Oh, sorry. She said, I always say maybe that formula wasn't for you, so let's try something new.
Yeah. Yeah, and feel confident saying that, you know, and it's money back, but, you know, guarantees. Just solidify the fact that that's why Mary Kay has those options for us. And they're not stuck, and it's complimentary to come over. And, you know, people are always like, well, what does it cost? Nothing. It's my time. It's fun, you know, and if nothing comes of it, I always say sometimes volunteering is wonderful, right? How do we feel when we volunteer for things, right? Yeah. Volunteering is wonderful. And sometimes that's just what you have to do to make that person feel good, because you don't really know what kind of day that she's had. And maybe you completely just give her that extra love. Christina, I know, is there probably with her girls putting them to bed, but there was
she just waved.
She waved? Okay. I'm going to just say this. So there was a time when she was in the mall, and this lady came up to her and handed her a little recipe card. And this recipe card she still carries in her wallet today. And this recipe card said that you're a good mom. She doesn't know who that person was, but they just walked up and handed it to her. And that touched her heart so much. Right? I said that right, Christina? Yeah. And she still has it in her wallet today. And I think that's our job, is to go out there and, you know, you can see when moms are having rough days. We know kids are screaming, they're on the floor, they're kicking and screaming in the grocery store. I mean, I've been there. And I think it's so nice to, you know, notice moms and say, you're doing a good job. And, you know, maybe that's when you offer a little hand cream, and it just doesn't have to be anything attached to it. Just, this is for you to make you feel good. So anyway, we kind of got off topic a little bit, but you get the idea. Okay, so the fifth most important thing is schedule. We need to schedule time to book. Now, this is the tough thing. We have all this great intentions. We have our lists, right? We have an idea of when we're going to work, but now we have to do it. This is the hard part. And this is probably the most important part. And you almost have to psych yourself up. And I've done this with my unit before, and we're going to do it really quickly. Take a blank piece of your day timer or paper that you're writing on and do a T. Okay? And on the left side of the T are going to be your pros to booking. And the right side is your cons to booking. So we're going to start with the scary side first. So what's cons to booking? It's scary, right? It's fearful. You can type anything on the side if you want. Sometimes it's just that you feel unprepared. You don't feel organized. You feel that, you know, your kit's messy. You just don't feel like you have enough information or tools or time or whatever your objection is. Anyone have anything else that scares them to book? And last time we did it, our unit said that the phone had teeth. Right? It does if you think about it that way, yeah.
That they might say yes.
Okay. Then what? Oh, she said yes. Then it's like the next step. That's scary, you know? And then when you look at, you know, there's not so many. And then the left side of things, you write down all the amazing stuff that comes from that booking. And that list can be so long. And I want you to finish that exercise, because if you ever have that moment where you're like, I just don't want to book, think of all those pros that are going to come from it. You're going to get to practice on people's faces. You're going to sell some amazing product. You're going to maybe earn a ring one day. Like I had a consultant said, I need to earn a certain amount of money by this date because I want to buy my husband a truck. And I said, wicked, did you know that if you earned that much in that time, you would actually earn a diamond ring from Mary Kay? And she's like, oh, I wasn't even thinking about me. So I'm like, there's a win in booking, because not only is she going to earn that money for her husband to get that truck, but in the end, she's going to get a diamond ring. That's all she needed to hear, and that's what she needed. That was her motive for booking. So if you know your why, bookings don't seem so scary. So you need to find uninterrupted time to call. Now I have 2 times that I do that. There's a time usually when the kids are in bed. Now that's the tough thing, because you got to be organized. Your kids need to be in bed at a certain time. We won't talk about that, but my girls know that there's a certain time the kids are in bed, or that say Greg's putting Harlan to bed and I'm down here and making phone calls or following up. And I do it in my car. So the best time is when I take my kid to school, one of them. The other one used to nap, or I can take her somewhere. Then I would phone. So I always found a couple spots of time, especially when you have kids. It's very different than when you don't, to find spots. And it doesn't have to be long spots. It has to be short little spots. I'm way more productive with quick 10-minute spots throughout the day than I am in an hour of sitting here, because what's going to happen? I'm going to get distracted. I'm going to have consultant texting me questions, and I get distracted really easy. I think most women do. We get notifications on our phone. Please learn to, do something about that and take notifications off of things, Messenger and things that don't bother you, or put your phone to silent. I do that very often, where I'll forget that my phone's like on vibrate and stuff, because I put it to nighttime mode so that I can eat dinner with the family, or that I have that time to book. So that's the biggest thing, is you need to find time to book. You've got your lists, right? You've got your scripts. Now you need to find time. Anything you want to add, friend?
No, that's yeah.
Okay.
Put it in.
So now
one thing that I have for that is just it's kind of on the same thing, the schedule, but it's just daily consistency, setting goals that you can break down daily. And it really, 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 this business, it just comes down to being consistent. Consistency every single day. And even like a goal to get 1 new booking a day, right? And when you do it like that,
yeah.
I think
I always try to do 5 new calls a day. So you'll hear lots of directors, have all these ideas, but 5 calls a day, 5 ways to grow your business, 5 wishing wells, 5 things a day, or 5 follow-up calls. Like, it doesn't take long to phone 5 people, does it? No. Unless they all say yes, and then you're booking. I mean, right? You know how much time. If you've got a 5-minute window, then you call as many people as you can in that 5 minutes. You don't just call one and go, well.
Yeah. At our meeting on Tuesday, I did the pampering, and the girls did a 30-minute booking blitz, and it really just got them excited. It got them motivated, and it got them looking at their list, and then they were super excited to go and continue that like the next day. Mm-hmm. So sometimes we just need to be challenged to do a booking blitz, right? To just like, okay, I'm just going to do it. And the other thing that I have on here is accountability and sharing it. Mm-hmm. Because not just being accountable to yourself, but being accountable to others, because once you get it out there and you're like, what if said that out loud? Like just me asking my people with that script that I used and saying I had a really big goal. Now they know I have a really big goal. Well, guess I'm accountable. And I said the whole year. So guess I'm going all the way to June 30th, right? So it's consistency and sharing. I think that there is so much power in actually putting it out there. And it doesn't have to be a massive goal. It just has to be your goal.
Yeah.
Right?
So let's talk about how to organize these names, because I think Sophia, one of our directors in Fort McMurray, shared on our Rogers Director group. Was it Rogers group? Yeah. Yep. Where she has a recipe box with Monday to Sunday. And every day that she makes that call, like she just kind of moves their names forward with lead slips or whatever. So, I mean, there's lots of ways you can organize when you call people. What I still use today is I just have a blank book, and I have their names on one left side, and then I write down everything about them on the other side of the paper. So it could be a lead slip that you put in half this book. I'll have to bring it out. It's definitely like buried in my cupboard. See, that's bad too. But having that where it's half and half, having a way to organize yourself so that you always have your lead list in front of you and you're tallying or calling them all, so that you're not just forgetting. Have a way to organize it. Yeah.
then you don't have those neglected people that
Yeah.
you're like,
Oh, yes, I was supposed to call you. Oops. Right?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the last 6 most important thing is you keep calling until you have at least 10 appointments on your books. 10's your magic number. Because of the 10, maybe if you were going to cancel. So 10 is kind of your focus. And I really want to challenge you, and I know in September I'm going to challenge my unit. So here's the spoiler alert, is a 10-show week, because I'm going to do a 10-show week. And, you know, Ann Newberry talked about a 10-show week because she's like, you'd be amazing what happens. Now, can you imagine if you did your 10-show week the first or the second week of each month? The third week was meant to following up or booking interviews, right? And the fourth week you were resetting and rebooking following it. So whatever way you're going to organize to get those bookings, to keep it flowing, you know your schedule, you know what you can do. But a lot of directors do that. They book the first 2 weeks of every month and do all their appointments. The third week is usually interviews or coaching. And then the fourth week is rebooking again and reorders, and then they recycle it. You heard of that, Kristen?
Yeah.
Yeah, because then, you know, what happens is we all, especially with directors, we have so much going on the last week of the month. Yeah, and everything kind of falls into place. So,
And I think it's not as hard on you when you have more bookings if there's cancellations, because you know, we are women and we're sensitive. And if you have one booking or two bookings and one cancels or both cancels, it's a lot harder, right? Like you're like, oh, how, you know, I was banking on that. But if you have 3, like, well, 5, 10, you know, it's okay. It's easier, and you know, it just makes, yeah, it makes everything easier.
I think it's
And
normal.
then it also gives you more practice.
Yes.
Pardon?
It's so normal. I mean, we cancel dentist, doctor's appointments all the time. It's nothing personal.
No.
The secret is to say, well, let's rebook you, because you know what, I'm going to get busy in the next month and I want to make sure I've got time for you. I know how important this is to you and you deserve that pampering. So usually if it's not a group, that's when people cancel. So let's talk a little bit about coaching to get bigger groups and bigger parties and how to keep them, because I think that is what happens. A lot of people is they do one-on-ones and they cancel and then their whole life is over. Right? But if you had a few people and you've profiled them very often, they're not going to cancel because they're going to let other people down. Right? So booking keeps it, booking gets it, coaching keeps it. So let's talk about why we coach. So why do we coach? Now for new people, they're going to go, why? What do you mean coaching? Coaching is setting them up. So it gives them an idea of what we're going to do. You profile their guests. You get them really excited about the perks that they're going to get. So why do we coach? To establish rapport with the hostess if you don't especially know them already. And you give her that confidence that you know what you're doing and that she's going to love Mary Kay. To establish that relationship with her friends too, because very often you're not going to know their friends. So you got to make a good first impression to her so that it's going to relay to her friends. The other thing too is you want to make sure that you are calling as much as you can, the old school, calling the guests to profile them. So you got profiles in your kit for a reason, profile cards. Those cards are amazing. Now, when I was a new consultant, I never used them because I was like, well, I have more extra paperwork. Why do you need these things? And I realized really quickly those things are like amazing, because not only do they ask that client questions about her skin, but if you're new, it's twofold. It's going to tell you what you need to sell her on the second page. So when you're new and you feel like you're clueless on what products, it's going to offer advice to you. It's also going to be able, if you like the old school way of logging things, you could put it in a recipe box and have a profile on each person. You know, if you go to Sephora or MAC or any of those other places, they do the same thing, right? Then they put it in the computer. So initially you set that appointment, you know. Sometimes what you do is you set that initial one-on-one with Kristen. So Kristen's going to come to my house. We're going to pamper her. We're going to do PJs and masking, because she's already had a glamour session with me. And I'll say, you know what, Kristen, it's just as easy for me if you want to bring, I have some feedback. I don't know where that is. I don't know whose. I'm just going to check. Okay, is that a bit better? Okay. So I'm going to say to Kristen, I don't know, this is super easy for me. I'm going to have everything there for you. Why don't you bring a friend? Because if you had 2 friends, 2 or more, you're going to have the option of a hostess credit. Now, this is what I do. I don't know what Kristen does, and I'll let her share because it's nice to have 2 options. So for my hostess plan, I try to keep it nice and simple. My hostess plan is as long as there's 2 friends. So that's party of 3. So hostess plus she brings 2 friends. Then she gets 2 items at half price just for coming. 2 items at half price. She has 3 friends, she gets 3. She has 4 friends, she has 4. She has 5 friends, she has 5. So that's a total of 6. The most I give away is 5 items at half off. Now that's 5 individual items. That's really her miracle set at half price. Does that help? That's her repair kit at half price. It's not 5 repair kits. Does that help? And then if the total combined is over $250, then I give her 10%. So if there's a $500 class, she'll get an additional $50. If it's $1,000, she gets $100. So if she had a class of $1,000 with 5 friends, it'd be 5 friends at half price and $100 in product credit. Now, if it's just a smoking class and I've got bookings from it, you'll kind of feel the vibe, then I would give additional stuff. And that just depends on that person in front of me. Maybe I add a roll-up bag to her order, or I add, something. But I definitely kind of customize it. I try not to give perks if they are a one-on-one, because very often people say, "Well, I'm spending $500 on you. What are you going to give me for free?" Now, sometimes I like to add things, so it's not like they've listed their order and then I'm going to look at their order and go, maybe we should add a skin brush and that's going to be my gift because you spent this much. That's a personal thing. I don't recommend always giving stuff away, only when they book. Because if you do hostess credits just for bookings, they're always going to do a party. I got a client today, and then I'll pass it to Kristen, who sends me a message stating that there's this girl at work and she's going to give her 15% off her order if I purchased from her. And so I had to explain, obviously you're a client of mine and I will have a back to school sale on really soon if you could wait. But, you guess she was advertising through her work email and blasted out to everybody that she was a new consultant offering this discount when she doesn't know the rules yet of how that works and that we're not supposed to do that. But that client of mine said, well, if she's going to offer me a discount all the time, I'm going to move to her. And she loves me. So I kind of told her, how we do it. And I offer special sales to my group. And when you book a party, and then I said, and the best thing is if you love Mary Kay, do you want to know how to get it half price? And then I moved into that because I was trying to give her all the options to keep her. The bottom line, all she cared about was her discount on this next order. And she was willing to go to this other person. So I think people just need to know all the perks that we have. And once I explained all the options of how to get things, she was like, oh, cool. Okay, well, I'll stay with you. Right? So I think now people just don't know our hostess credits. They don't know how it works. We don't explain it enough. So, Kristen, do you want to tell us? Because I was thinking, we in Mary Kay, they don't have set ones. You know how some companies have set?
Well, they do.
Yeah. Well, they do.
They
do. It's just not. Sorry.
So they changed it. So this comes in the starter kit. Sorry, Angela.
No.
Your bubble.
No.
So I don't really like to go too far away from this kind of thing. So it's not super great. So when your party is $200 more or more in sales, you get $25 off. When you have 3 or more guests that are 18 and older, you get $25 off. When 2 people book with me, you have $25 off. So it's like, that's how you can get $75 for free. So sometimes I just make a decision, right? Because I've had parties that are under $200. And so, and they're, so what do I do for her kind of thing. So this is great. It's simple. You can also give it to them. Like you can pop it in the mail to them, let them know, that kind of thing. So it is tangible. This is good. But I'm really liking the 50% off per person that you're bringing. You have a tickle, Angela. So yeah, I really like that. And I'm actually So I changed mine. I'm not going to lie. I'm not like a stick with it all the time kind of girl. I just kind of, I like to have different ones because it excites me. So Angela just recently, and this is what I just did at my last party. So I did, she had 4 people there. So I gave her a vitamin C square and I gave her 4 half price items because she had 4 people there. So that's what I did, and it's exciting. And really, so she got, I think it worked out to being like $60 off stuff because that's what she chose, the things that she chose. And then this, so it's not a huge cost on me, and it still was a good sized party. So I think it's nice to give them something tangible. I got this idea from Angela. So it's just they're going home with a gift. So this is something that's totally free. And then they're getting that. So, and it's so funny because I'll tell you, when I first started, I didn't know about Mary Kay having hostess things. I didn't know about anything. All I knew was that you were supposed to offer like half price items or this or that. Another one that, sorry, I was lying. I just remembered how I was taught. You can get 10% off per person you bring up to 50. That's the way I was taught. So that's another option. I really think hostess credits are personal, and I think it's what makes you excited and what makes you excited to book. So if what Angela said makes you excited, gets you excited, and it makes you feel like you're doing something good, do it. If the Mary Kay one makes you excited and that's what you want to do and it's simple, do it. If giving whatever product is like the now product, right? So last April, it would have been lash intensity. In May, it would have been the charcoal mask. It still can be the charcoal mask. Right now, we're talking vitamin C squares, right? And then, or if you want to do 10% off up to 50, you can do that, right? So does that make sense, Angela? Is that
Brilliant. Because I think we need to get excited all the time, and if we're not excited, you're not booking. So you just decide what excites you to book. Whatever it is, it's your 50%. Do whatever you want to do. No one's holding your hand and telling you not to. The company has options, which is wonderful. And it's nice when you're new to use those brochures because you know what? You're still learning everything else. So do whatever works. Okay?
yeah.
A couple quick things and we're going to end because we've already had fun over the past hour. Everybody learning lots? Okay. Goodie bags. Okay, every time we have a party, what do we want? Goodie bags.
Goodie bag.
Okay, my unit party, my son's like, Mom, where's the goodie bags? Okay, so we get goodie bags for the kids. Goodie bags. So make sure that all your, everybody leaves with a goodie bag. Samples, whatever you've got at home. Okay? It doesn't have to be expensive. Just hand out something as a little treat. Just say thank you for coming and spending time with us. Yeah. And one thing I always like to do is as soon as like Kristen books a party, and if she's close, I'll go over to her house right away. I bring extra books, extra catalogs, extra samples so that she can take them to work. Because we're helping her build her hostess credit. And maybe a couple people bail, but she's got orders on the side. She will still make that work. So make sure you're always making them feel like $1 million and bringing them things. If it's a Facebook Live party, which I'm doing a live party on the 8th, any of Kristen's girls, if they want to come and watch, I'm going to do some live videos and stuff. Kristen can get you the link. But you could send, if you have a hostess for a live party, you can send her stuff in the mail ahead of time and get everybody excited. Because sometimes nowadays it's word of mouth, Facebook, and it's also taking things to work. So make sure that when you're really coaching your hostess, you're explaining to her how much fun she's going to have. You want to talk about refreshments. You want to talk about alcohol because, you know, you don't want them loaded. Okay, we need to keep it the Mary Kay way with the whole alcohol thing. Now, it's tough. We live in Fort McMurray, and there's a lot of newfies here. Jen's smirking because all the newfies love to drink up here. Okay, we love our newfies. They're fun. They're a good time. They like to party. So I bend the rule. As soon as we get their foundation on, I let them have a drink, and that's when we do color. And they can't get too loaded at that point. You can't control them before you get there. But you really hope that they take that to heart, because what's going to happen, the biggest thing, and this is what I tell them, if they get too many drinks in them, that foundation shade's going to be off. And so I tell the hostess, you got to do me a favor. I don't want people leaving orange. It's a waste of my time after to change samples of foundation. So, I always try to do it early enough so it's not a late party either. Like I try to do something around 6 to 8, because if you start creeping 7 and 8 at night, what happens with a party of women? Right? They're getting into the wine later on. So light refreshments, you don't want it to be a big festival of food, right? Plate of cookies, or keep it nice and simple. Your job isn't to eat it all either, right? I think the first few years as a director, I ate my way right through it, which is funny because you feel like you got to stay and eat all the food. But what happens? It adds up over the years, and don't be drinking with me either. So Chris is laughing, but it's true, because you go to someone's house and you don't want to be rude, so you just take a carrot, right? You eat a carrot, you have water, and then you do the class and you get out with, not trying to be rude, but you got kids to relieve a babysitter or whatever. Sometimes it's good having a babysitter, right? Because you got to relieve the babysitter, costing you money. So, you get a coach, your hostess, everybody's different. Kristen's genius. She has them at her house, you guys. We need to have them all at her house. It's easier for her, as we know. But, she could kick them out whenever.
Not all of them.
No?
Not all of them. And it is not easy, because sometimes they won't leave. They like me.
I would.
But I never say yes to wine. They ask me all the time, do you want a glass of wine? And I never say yes. Because I don't like, I try to avoid it at all costs, but when they show up to my house with a bottle of wine, what's my first impression? To be like, so after skincare, I just want to say something quick, because I think we have like 3 minutes left. What I've been doing is, so I take Pic Collage, and after they book a party with me, I make a little collage to say you're invited, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Right? So that they can text it or call it or whatever, show it to their people. If we are Facebook friends or something like that, or if they're willing to become Facebook friends with me, I can create a Facebook event and invite them to be a co-host with me, and then that way I can message all the guests, and I'm in charge of because sometimes I'm like, can you please give me their phone numbers, right? And if they're like busy and stuff like that, I can do that as well. And I find having that tangible little cute collage invite is really, it's less intimidating, and they know exactly all the details are on there, where, when, who, how, all of it.
Yeah.
And then I also put on there, please RSVP by this date. And back to the goodie bags for a second, I make sure I put on there, let me know by this date so I can have a goodie bag for you, because then they're also there. So thank you for reminding me about the goodie bags, because I have so many bookings and I totally forgot about the goodie bags.
Yeah, goodie bags are fun. Especially if it's a masking party and you didn't have time to talk about something else, then put that product in there too, like contempt them. Yeah. So we have 2 minutes. Does anyone have any questions about anything? I mean, we could talk about more stuff on and on and on, but hopefully you've got enough that you're going to take that list of 200 and get to work, because I will tell you to start booking now, because I'll tell you this, as soon as kids get into school on Tuesdays, moms are bored. You can start making appointments that week. You got to call now though, right? People are going to take off this weekend. Texting is great. They'll still text you back camping. Nowadays, people Facebook message and text you way faster than calling, which is so sad. But sometimes I'll be like, hey, let's talk about the party in person once we book it. And then you can at least get that voice and that, yeah. Anyone have any questions? Yeah, and I would like to see, which one was that about?
I think it's really important, like if it's not a current customer, it's really, or someone it is really important to get on the phone. But if it's someone that you have a connection with, and it's also asking them, right? Sorry. Oh.
Yeah, Kristen, will get it to me and I'll send it to you. Yeah.
Yes, totally. Or I can send it to you through Messenger too.
Yeah. Okay.
I will do that. Yep.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm excited to book. I've got lots of leads and stuff I have to do. I get my kid in daycare soon, and I'm excited to be a free mama in September for a few days. It's exciting to have a schedule. It's exciting to have, what's that word I'm looking for? Systems in place to make you successful. You know, we need systems in place. Our kids in school or whatever it needs to be for them to have time so we can have time, right? If mom's happy, everything's happy. So thank you, Kristen, from the bottom of my heart. I loved it. It was fun. I think it was really great. And I did record it, so I'm going to download it tonight and hopefully post it on a YouTube link.
Thank you for inviting me and letting, yeah, because when I saw that you had one tonight, I was like, let's do it together.
No, I think I had one scheduled for Sunday, and it is long weekend. I don't know if anyone's going away. I might change it. I wasn't thinking. So,
Oh, you have one for this Sunday.
yeah. Anyway, so I'll message my group out and find out. But yeah, we're going to be talking about sharing and stuff, and I will do a live video on that too because we have some huge goals for September. We're going to do a quantum leap. Going for a quantum leap, which is 30 new recruits for our unit. So yeah, we're really gonna talk about, we need some finish up our cars, right, Kristen? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Concrete routine. Yes, Jess, a concrete. It has to be set. It has to be non-negotiable. Will be your favorite word in September. It's non-negotiable. How many bookings do you want? How many names do you want? What do you want? Because I would say quickly, from September to December, it's probably the most productive and most busiest financial time, bookings and all, because that's what people set their year up. If you don't work from September to December, you're working harder next year. It's almost better to keep going. And at some point, there will be double up. We just don't know where.
Yep.
Yeah.
And everybody, make sure you do your 6 most important things before you go to bed tonight.
Yeah. Okay, you all good? I can't wait to hear how.
And text them to your director.
Well,
so you're accountable.
Yeah, I don't make them do that, but maybe I should.
Yes, it's good.
Okay, guys.
Or just say, I did it. Just say, I did it.
Yes, I did it. Yeah, it's true. Thank you, Kristen. Love you always.
Oh, I love you. I love you guys all.
Okay. Okay, have fun booking. Text me and let me know. Okay.